How would it feel to have a thriving fitness business and have the freedom to enjoy life at the fullest? Well, that is exactly what the Trainer Revenue Multiplier Show is going to give you. My name is Mathew Park. This is Jaime Filer.
Hey guys.
And we are here to serve. Welcome everybody to the TRM Show. My name is Mathew Park and I have our co-host, the powerhouse, the social media superstar, TRM mentor, TRM coach, Jaime Filer. How are you doing today?
I am phenomenal, Mathew. How are you?
Amazing. I caught you before this call with your clothes almost halfway off and,
Yeah, you did. You did. And I was apologizing for everyone that we didn't do it once we were already live. So maybe
yours could definitely go higher. I can see it, Jaime. It is good to have you today for the actual podcast. We have a pretty hot topic that I know is your wheelhouse of expertise. You're the master behind social media. You keep elevating your game as far as bringing all the secrets and tools to us and TRM as far as what to do, how to do it, how to maximize and grow in that area. So I guess with further ado, social media, you, Jaime,
Yeah.
that's your game, that's your wheelhouse. How important is that now in today's fitness coaching realm for of course, to have a social media follow? How important is that now compared to 5 years ago?
Oh, compared to 5 years ago,
Maybe
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is of the utmost importance because the world's attention span is getting shorter and shorter. Even the conversations we're having in person, I'm noticing there's a trend for, right? Like, Mathew, you and I can be sitting down for dinner and I could get bored after a minute and look at the notification pop up on my phone, right? I heard a podcast recently that said attention is the hottest commodity because it's fleeting. So if you can corner a market, a segment on everything, then that's all you need. That's all you need to capture someone's attention, even if it's for 15 seconds at a time.
Wow. So now you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
You're on YouTube. You're YouTube. So 4 of the biggest channels obviously out there. They are the biggest, of course, out there, right? And of course, you've been growing. You and Kim have grown your network for a while. You have over 100,000 or more followers, but your engagement is absolutely crazy and sick right now on your social media. As far as Instagram, you get comments galore, whenever you make a post. So what are things, I know it's a whole different call, but what are things you specifically do to maximize engagement for your own social platform, Jaime?
Oh, great question. It's so funny because we just talked about daily habits and actions on the platinum call right before this. So the first one is my content calendar and just making sure that every single day there is something that I can provide to my community that is either inspirational, educational, or entertaining that fits the bill of one of my 3 content pillars. The next thing I do is make sure that all comments are responded to and all DMs are answered. Comments and DMs usually within a 72-hour period, unless it's a client, and then I get back to them faster. And then the last one is I hired a VA, but obviously you can do this yourself, is to message all new followers to start a conversation right away.
The big question I have for you now, of course, you have Katie in your corner as well, helping you as well, to which she's absolutely phenomenal. But let me ask you this, is how much do you do and how much does she or somebody else do for you in your social platforms?
Great question. So Katie sometimes answers the comments on my posts or on my reels. Yep. And then my VA messages all new followers, but she is responsible for outbound messaging only. So if Mathew, you started following me, you would get a message from my account, but it would be from Faith. And then you'd say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. My goals going into 2023 are, But that's where Faith's involvement ends. And that's where Katie's involvement ends. As soon as you write back to me, then you're getting Jaime Filer. I say, Mathew, what a fantastic goal. What is the framework you're using to achieve that?
Oh, I love that. I love that. So you shared a pretty electrifying TRM Instagram video on the page here recently about 10. I love any cliche as far as 10 by 2 or some philosophy or method.
Yeah.
The 10 by 2 Filer method. So tell us more about that philosophy you do for social media as far as the 10 by 2.
Oh my gosh. Well, as much as I would love to take credit for it, the credit goes to a guy named Stephen Meller, at Stephen Meller, Mellor, whom I follow, right? And I think it's so important to acknowledge, guys, that even if you're a trainer, I guess, especially if you're a trainer, it is not enough to just follow other trainers and other educational accounts, because there are so many facets of our business. I follow 5 different Instagram business coaches.
Wow.
Yeah. So Stephen Meller is one of them. So the 10, we can discuss that too. But Stephen Meller is one of them. So his 10 by 2 method says we all have a niche, right? If you're a good business coach, you have a niche, or even an audience. You don't even have to be a business coach. If you are a direct marketer, if you're a content creator, whoever you are, you have a niche. What you want to do is follow 10 other coaches, creators, dancers, whomever in your niche that have the same audience as you. Every day, right? You're going to engage with 2 pieces of their content. So you're looking at a story reply and a comment on their reel, or we're looking at a story reply and maybe sending them a private DM, asking them something. Like, either way. And this comes down to the most fundamental principle of social media, which is it is meant to be social. Social media was designed as a conversation between people, right? And at some point, we started treating it like a soapbox. Here is my dogma. Here is my manifesto. And then we just put it out there for the world to see. But again, speaking of attention spans, the guy, right? It's like the guy on the street who's literally standing on a soapbox preaching only gets people's attention as they walk by. Whereas if I'm on a soapbox and I say, hey, sir in the baseball shirt, I have a question for you. Come here. You're going to be like, oh, she's talking to me. I'm going to, right? So the point of the 10 by 2 is really to start a conversation with other people in your niche.
So you're saying 10 people that, of course, are your ideal clients or more of your competitors?
Okay, so let's say there's another business coach who trains females in general and also has a mental health component to her business.
Okay.
I'd follow her. I'd engage with her stuff. If there was even, let's look at Isaac. Even Isaac, for example, right? He does him specifically veterans, maybe who struggle with their mental health. Okay, cool. He would be another, right? So he's just similar enough for me to follow, right? But then you get guys like Jace, right? Fantastic coach, but other than the fact that we're both coaches, we don't have a lot in common for our business model. So Jace wouldn't be the type of guy that I would follow for the 10 by 2 method.
That's a great example, Jaime.
Yeah.
So I know I gave you actually a question on WhatsApp this week about our own social media for TRM regarding platforms like Social Pilot or Hootsuite or others, of course, out there that for TRM, and I wouldn't mind you sharing some of your as far as like knowledge on how to use these, or where do you, or if we even should use these things, like where those platforms may come in handy or not.
So what you mentioned, for those people who are listening but aren't familiar, are posting automated posting platforms. So say, for example, you come up with 5 pieces of content and you schedule them Monday through Friday at 9:15 Eastern Standard Time because you were told by the algorithm that that's your peak window for engagement, right? So Mathew was asking me, he's like, hey, Jaime, what do you think about, Hootsuite posting for us on Instagram? And I said, I love the idea. So great for busy professionals. But again, it goes back to the core principle. If Mathew's system posts for TRM at 9:15, And then, but Matthew is busy on a coaching call, right? So he's not doing it. And he's also not on Instagram to immediately engage with the comments and the likes and the shares and the stories of people who comment on that particular post. Instagram will know he's not being social. He is not using the platform for what it's designed for. We call this posting and ghosting. Guys, again, this is not you shouting out to the rooftops. It's you getting in on the ground floor and having conversations with other people.
That's gold. So then how would you use a platform like that? It's more of like, if you're going to post at the time of the day, if you have you or somebody on your team, make sure they go in there and reply to comments.
Yeah. So I guess, so what you could do is say, hey, Tan, do you have anything going on at 9:17 Eastern Standard Time? And she'd be like, no. And you say, okay, would it be cool if you could block off 10 minutes of your schedule every day from 9:17 to 9:30 to respond to all incoming comments, likes, shares, and DMs, right? It would also, though, be a good time that immediately after you post, he starts the 10x2 method, right? Or you start the 10x2 method, so that even if you're not interacting with the thing you just posted, you're still being social on social media. So the algorithm doesn't catch that it was something automated, because, oh, there's still activity happening from the trainer revenue multiplier account. Does that make sense?
Why 9:17?
Okay, so that was under the assumption that you asked the app to post for you at 9:15.
Oh,
I was just like giving you leeway. Yeah. But no, I mean, it could be 9:15. It could be, you could be active from 9:10 to 9:20. Doesn't matter. As long as it's in and around the time that you post, that is the best time to be social.
So what's sort of the guideline as far as like how long can you wait? Like, so I post at 9 o'clock in the morning, every morning. Like, is it like an hour or two? Like, what's kind of the delay as far as how far is too long? How much is like, what's the time frame?
It's like the old school anabolic window, right? Of feeding. Okay. So, I mean, is it ideal to have a protein shake immediately after you train? Of course, because your body is most open to receiving it. But has the myth been debunked that you will not see any gains whatsoever if you don't have a shake within no, you can have your way whenever you want. So what I like to do, especially because, as you know, I'm a big fan of time management, is it's the fishing method, right? You cast a line in the morning, you go do other stuff, maybe 5 hours later, 8 hours later, 12 hours later, now we're reeling it back in. Now we can lift up the net and see all of the fish that we caught. So Faith, my VA, she sends all outbound messaging between 8:30 and 9:30 a.m., which means that people are going to start replying, immediately. But I'm busy. And that also, I should mention, that coincides with when I make my content. So I will typically post between 7:30 and 8 a.m. That is when I will make a reel. And then Faith messages everyone between, like I said, 7:30 to 8:30. And then in the evening or in the afternoon, I will go in and respond to all of the messages that come back in.
That's cool. So I like your term anabolic window. That's actually going to go in the TRM Gold training, I think, Jamie, as a Jaime Filer thing, anabolic windows, 10x2s. All these little cool quotes with our avatars, right?
Yeah. So
you, Katie, and Faith, there's obviously almost like a tripod of working your social media. So obviously your social following, of course, is quite large. So take someone who, of course, has 5,000 followers or a couple thousand or 10,000, whatever it is. How soon do you bring somebody in to help? Or when's a good time to bring help in? Or what does it look like as far as a coach perspective?
Great question. So this, I mean, it's the same as can be said, when is a good time for me to use the TRM engine? Sure. The answer is always before you need it, right? So if you notice that while you may not be, actually, you know what? If it's not a priority for you, right? Like, great example, our friend Darren, okay? Darren has so many clients. The guy has 3 coaches under him. He's looking to enhance a different arm of his business. Social media isn't his priority, but he knows he has to do it. So even though he doesn't necessarily need it now, it's not something he wants to spend his time doing. So for Darren, it would be a worthwhile investment. You know what I mean? Because again, it has to be done.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be the one doing it.
Yeah.
So why not hire someone now so he can spend his time on his high leverage activity?
Well, Darren's going to get some free coaching right now from Jaime Filer, actually. So, Darren, if you're listening, buddy, you got some free coaching.
That one's in my house, buddy.
You might get one more, Darren. Just wait, buddy. So let's take the difference out. Darren wants to do it for social media, okay? Yeah. And maybe he makes one post a week or two a week on his own, which is fine. Because of the clients. What's his first steps to make his content repurpose? What's his step as far as to hire somebody? If Darren, of course, was getting coached by you right now, like what's kind of those steps you usually with him?
Okay, so the other thing that I encourage when I coach people in TRM is creating the content itself as a high leverage activity. 100%, because nobody can do it but you. Right? No one else can take my place right now in this moment on the podcast. I cannot have Faith do it. I can't have Katie do it. I can't even have Tanny do it. Right? I'm the only one who can speak to this at this juncture. Right? So I would never tell someone in TRM gold or silver yet that they can go do something else instead of making the content, right? What I can say is, hey, Darren, save it as a draft and let Christina or your future VA or someone else post it for you. But I still need your face, your dialogue in front of the camera.
So would you almost have him create an SOP for how that other person would engage for him, as of course, if she's making the post or he's making the post, whatever, like if you have Katie or Faith do for you, same thing, right?
Yep, 100%. The flip side is, let's say Amanda, right? Amanda has her assistant coach, Andy. So when they post from the AJF studio page or the AJF team page, doesn't always have to be Amanda, right? Amanda has to ensure that every day there is a post going out from the AJF Studios page, but she's fortunate in that it doesn't have to be Amanda. She can give Andy the responsibility of educating, entertaining, and inspiring Team AJF and prospects.
I love that. That's actually kind of cool. Okay, makes sense. Now, for trainers and coaches, platforms, like how many should they be on? Like what's usually the recommended amount? Like, of course, like you always talk about, like, of course, focus on the few to get a better result.
Exactly. Yeah.
What do you recommend for trainers? Like, is 2 a good number, 1, 3, or what's kind of your advice, Arjun, with trainers with this platform?
I would say start with 1, and if you remember, do 1 or 2 others. Right? It's so funny. I was coaching Chris and Amber this morning, and they said, Jaime, Chris's TikTok is growing. He's really happy with it. We've been repurposing his reels, and it's going, but it's going slowly. And I said, okay, awesome. Do you have a YouTube channel? And they said, yeah, we put all of the Science and Gains podcasts on the YouTube channel. I said, cool. I'm going to have you start doing YouTube shorts.
Wow.
And they're like, and I said, you've taken the Instagram watermark off your reels and then you've moved it to TikTok, correct? And they say, yeah. And I said, great. Now we're just going to move it to YouTube shorts because you already have that channel. So again, it isn't, and this is something you can hire a Fiverr for, or Chris has Amber do it, right? If you've saved a video once, it's so easy to copy and paste the same caption with the same hashtags on Facebook Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels.
Ooh, okay. Here's a question I have for you.
Yeah.
So, for example, that I make a YouTube video, but on a horizontal as opposed to a vertical.
Okay.
Right? Can you still use that reasonably well for Reels?
I would not.
Okay, that's a good answer. Okay.
No, I wouldn't. I would Okay. So Katie and I are collaborating with the W Hotel, and our posting requirement is two reels over the course of our stay.
Okay.
All right. So what we are doing, because we also have a YouTube channel, is when the food comes out, right? Let's say we're at the restaurant, right? It has to be a feature. One of us will be vertical for the Instagram reel that's required, and the other one will be horizontal for our YouTube channel. Or if there's only one phone, the food comes out, and then we say to the server, "Do you mind bringing it out again?" And they're like, "Yeah, of course," no, because it's 2022. They know, and we do it all over again.
That is brilliant. Oh my gosh, Jamie, that's leverage right there.
100%. 100%. But again, it's so easy. It's a slightly different perspective. Well, it's literally a different perspective. And you have to, but again, this is if you're using both at once, right? Again, Katie and I are comfortable. She's not comfortable on TikTok. Totally cool, right? But again, it's easy for me to repurpose, so I don't mind taking on that extra platform.
Interesting. So does someone have to post every day?
Does someone have to grow their social media?
I love this. Is why I'm asking, because our trainers come to us like, "How do you have to post?" I'm like, I want Jamie to say, "You have to post every day."
That's like me saying, if a trainer says, "Do I have to grow my business?" No.
I love it.
You can do whatever you want with your business. I have right? Like, do I want you to succeed? Very much so. Then I will tell you that, but I can't tell you that there's anything you have to do. Is it in your best interest, if you want to grow and get discovered and have the algorithm understand you, then you have to post more, right? It's very similar. Siri, right? If you have a Siri or an Alexa, right? They have to understand your dialogue, right? They have to understand your accent. They have to understand you're Canadian. They have to pick up on slight nuances. And then Siri will be like, "Oh, that's what she means when she says." Same thing. The more you post on the algorithm and the more you use certain SEO words when you're writing up your descriptions, the more the algorithm is, "Oh, Jamie posted again. Let's send it out to all of these women in this income bracket of this age who's in," right?
Got it. Totally. Those reel videos you have on TikTok, are you sharing the same ones to your Instagram, Jamie?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Do you share them to Facebook as well?
I share them. So great question. I recently got we'll call it a privilege, of being paid for Facebook Reels. Yeah. So Facebook/Meta said, "Hey, James, if you hit this certain number of views, you'll hit this amount of money. Do you want to start earning stars or badges or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" So now I've started, again, repurposing the exact same thing on Facebook to the public, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube short.
Oh, that is very, very interesting. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Last question is DMing people for lead generation. Yeah. So I know it's obviously a hot topic. I know Ross does it with setters as well, which is awesome. I know others in TRM, of course, do DMing as well. It's been a hot topic for many, many years, DMing to get leads.
Yep.
I'm curious to you do you think it's kind of got almost overdone now? What's your thoughts or approach on how to best do that to capture that?
I think it's not overdone, because there are still, especially as you grow your following and you get more people, a lot of people don't expect a response. So even if they might think it's gimmick, I can't tell you, probably 10% of my responses are, "This is probably a bot, but I'll answer anyway." Right? Because again, conversation in 2022 is so rare that rather than me just doing, comment below if Nashville is your favorite city. If I actually message someone, I was like, "Hey, I saw you responded that Nashville was your favorite city. What's your favorite place to eat?" They're going to be like, "Oh, God." Right? So is it gimmicky? Maybe. Does it still work? Absolutely.
That's kind of cool. I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts of social media things you want to share with the crew today?
Absolutely. Whether it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, this is about we, not me. How are you serving? How are you showing that you can be of value? Give people a reason to follow you. Give them a reason to engage with you. And that reason should be them. The reason should be that they feel like you care about them and solving their problems and helping them and inspiring them. And that is the most authentic way to grow.
That's so beautiful. What I've kind of gained from hearing and learning from you, Jamie, is I think social media was almost like optional thing, 3, 4, 5 years ago, of like, hey, get your social channels and of course get things going.
Yeah.
But now it's like social media is literally a must do. Like you must have a social presence and be on there in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And what's cool about, you're always teaching us in TRM, even myself, is the importance of making a routine, making it a habit, of course, raising the bar, adding value and supporting. But now it's like there's aspects of like, how do you keep raising the bar, but also keep conversation real with people, like you've taught us over TRM even right now on this call, where people keep reaching out to you and asking for more information and wanting to be your client, right? So absolutely. I think it's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for having me on again. Anytime I can add value, I'm happy.
Well, as long as your shirt, comes off for a sneak peek, I'm just
people, that's my only value add. So no worries.
I will say, guys, her abs looked really good, just to give you a heads up. They're still, after her show, she still is dialed. Yes, he's lean. Guys, Jamie, thank you. And that was absolutely phenomenal. Awesome podcast. Really, really good tips you gave there. Holy smokes, it was almost like a TRM training for TRM, basically, in today's podcast.
Maybe it might be.
It's probably going to be, probably. Guys, follow us on the TRM show at TRM Multiplier for the Instagram page. Follow us. If you want to share the post, guys, take a screenshot of this actual on the podcast. Share on the Instagram, the Facebook page. Tag myself, tag Jamie, tag TRM. And other than that, guys, I want to wish you a fantastic day, guys. Keep rocking it, Jamie. Have fun in Nashville and keep your shirt on. Keep it off. Keep it off.